Hey everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Vinyl Ginger, and today we are going to be reviewing Christmas on Death Row by various artists. Or all the artists that were on Death Row Records. After Tupac. Rest in peace. It was the winter of 1996, and sadly the same year in September, Tupac Shakur had just been murdered in Las Vegas. And with Tupac gone, their main producer, Dr.Dre, had just left the label to form his own label, Aftermath Entertainment. So now, with their number one artist sadly passed away, their number one producer gone, label head Suge Knight decided that they needed a new album with Death Row's remaining artists to clean up their image. So Suge Knight came up with the brilliant idea to make a Christmas compilation rap album. I think y'all motherfuckers need to understand something. We need to clean up our image. We gonna make a Christmas album. Yeah. Christmas on Death Row was supposed to be an album made for charity, funded by both Death Row Records and Interscope Records. Although there's no real way to tell if the proceeds of the album actually went to charity. The album starts out with the funky hip-hop slapper Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto, and it actually features a verse from Snoop Dogg, a hook from Nate Dogg, and a verse from Daz. But then there's everything else. and did I mention that this was a double LP? The album goes from that classic West Coast vibe, the G-Funk vibe. You can tell that as the album goes on, the material begins to digress into cheaper versions of what that first song was. What I see here is a project with an entertaining idea, with lack of passion, lack of motivation, and lack of resources. By this era of Death Row, there was just not the same vibes in the studio that you were getting from artists like Dr. Dre and Tupac and Snoop Dogg and all of these guys collaborating together. So it just didn't turn out very well polished. This album sold 200,000 copies, and I feel like all they banked on was the name and the hype of Death Row Records, and the fact that Snoop Dogg was on really like one of the songs. He's the biggest face on the back cover. And speaking of album art, oh man, when you look at this record, you are mesmerized because you're like, is that Santa in an electric chair? So the artwork is just rather interesting, and it has that kind of dark mystique that makes you want to listen to a metal album, but it's a rap album, which is really cool, so they get kudos for that one. The album is red. I've seen versions of the album green as well, but Suge Knight is a blood, so I think this has some festive elements and some native root elements to himself, and I'd like to think that he was like, we need to do it red. That's gonna be my last joke talking about Suge Knight, because I'm afraid that he'll come and kill me, and that would really ruin my Christmas and my mother's. I'm her only child. What this album does have going for it is a supreme novelty factor, and it's also about Christmas. I mean, who doesn't love Christmas? Ass people that just hate joy in life. People that think that, you know, Christmas is one of these materialistic things when it's just really about being cheery and wonderful. And I don't understand why you want to be such a soulless person who doesn't like Christmas. I mean, you're a bah humbug. You shouldn't be allowed to hate on Christmas. Christmas is an American pastime. How dare you talk about Christmas like that? It doesn't matter which way you want to celebrate Christmas. If you want to celebrate it for Christmas, if you want to celebrate it for heritage, if you want to celebrate it because you like putting on funny glasses and naughty and nice hats and reindeer horns and having a Charlie Brown Christmas tree in the back of your video and listening to hip-hop Christmas albums. It doesn't matter, because these things make Christmas beautiful. The packaging of this record is really shoddy, and I do believe that that's because this album was never really meant to come out on vinyl. It's more of a novelty record. This record has a regular sleeve and 2 LPs stuck together like this. They're stuck together like that. That only increases the chance for the albums to rub up against each other, and that's the worst thing for an album, because that's the best way to make it scratch. Vinyl on vinyl action is never a good thing. So, How do I rate this album? Well, for music, I give it half a freckle. For packaging, I give it no freckles. For album art, I give it a full freckle. For content and overall concept, I give it a full freckle. And for lyrics, I'll go ahead and give it a freckle because, you know, it's Snoop Doggy Dogg and Nate Diggity Dog Dog on the hook. Rest in peace, Nate Diggity Dog Dog. Buy this album, keep it on your vinyl rack, and pull it out during Christmas to show your friends that this album was actually made. Because yes, Christmas on Death Row was actually made. It was made, folks. Yeah, that album was made. And I keep telling myself that because I can't believe it. Oh, Christmas on Death Row was actually made. And it was executive produced by Suge Knight. Please don't kill me. Alright everybody, that's our review. If you liked what you saw here today, please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. If you have any suggestions for me, please be sure to hit me up at my email at vinylgingerofficial@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and be sure to come by and enjoy the rest of the Christmas cheer, as we're gonna have some really, really, really good reviews for you this month, and I'm back for good. Yes. Please don't kill me, Suge Knight.